Okay. Okay. So Nola Ayers is with us. Nola, good to see you. Glad you could join us for this episode. And LSOP moderator is here. Awesome.
Do you want me to let people in?
Yeah.
Moderator. She's not. The moderator is not even
All right. Kelly Savage is here. Najar family, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. How's Najar? Is that right? Good to see you. I'm seeing 3 young scientists there. That's fantastic. See a lot of people just with numbers, which is cool. Brenna Cito is with us, Brenna's one of our compatriots. She's one of the people who's going to be doing the LSOP live, which is awesome. Fade is Crafty is here. Awesome. Fade, good to see you, as always. And Fade's craftiness is still on display in the Little Shop of Physics. We still have stuff that you did. I don't know if you remember the teeter-totter that you made back in the day, which is kind of like decorated kind of like awesomely. Still a thing. Just very, very cool. Who else is here? Addison Hayes, Camden Faber. Awesome. Oh, somebody showed up who's just in black and white. We better get some color to that person. I'm saying, yeah. Hello, black and white person. It's good to see you. And people's names who I'm recognizing. Dalton is here. Heidi is here. Nico. Jolie is here. This is awesome. Kelly Savage is here. Well, this is great. We have some awesome stuff for folks today. We're going to do, this is appropriate for Halloween. We're actually going to show you how to make like little wounds. Well, things that look like wounds. Hopefully we're not going to damage anybody as the show goes on. And a lot of other things which are very Halloween-y. Tyler Davis is here. Ryan and Caitlin. This is awesome. Angela Rodner is here. Cicada joins us every 17 years, which I'm glad that that's back. Somebody's having a sandwich. I see there someone is like ninja style. Got a ninja sandwich thing going on there. I think you can share that through the, here, if you put it up to the camera, I think I could have a little taste of it. I think it works that way.
Cicada.
Delish. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Awesome. Joe Ferguson is here. Maddox Smith is here. Awesome. This is great. Well, we're going to keep getting things ready. I'm going to go get my pogo stick, and I'm going to keep making different kinds of goo so that we will be ready for you folks. But absolutely, when 11 o'clock rolls around, we got a lot of awesome stuff to show you. And Brenna is looking...
I'm saving my energy,
good.
Brian.
Looking good.
I'm saving my energy.
It's all right. Oh, man, I'm very wobbly today.
Hey, Brian, Mark Barber says hi.
Oh, awesome.
Are we muted
Mark
now?
Barber says hi. So Mark Barber is with us. Well, that's cool. That is cool. I was just talking about Mark Barber the other day, who was with us. It's got to be almost 20 years. It's been a while. That is awesome. Teresa is with us, I see. Brittany Peterson, Caitlin Venable, Tucker Bodley, Tyler Davis, Javier, Maddie, Kathy, Imogene, Ethan. Oh my gosh. Someone just threw an Orby at me. This is the danger of the Goo Show. Goo is going to be flying. This is going to be a messy show.
Got him.
This is going to be good. This is going to be good. And hopefully parents are not going to be too upset at us for showing people all the messy things that you can do. But everything we do can also be cleaned up, and everything we're going to do today is non-toxic. Oh, wow, someone's got an awesome cow outfit. I want a cow outfit. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. Ashton is with us. This is fantastic. Anne is with us. Ashton. Fantastic. Oh, and someone else has got a hoodie. I guess because this is getting towards Halloween, so folks are thinking costumes, huh? All right, let's see who else we got coming in here. Penelope is with us, which is cool. Chris Delota is with us. I hope I pronounced that right. Little E, which ironically is spelled as with a capital E, which is kind of cool. Johanna is with us. And let's see who else we got coming in here. Caroline is with us. That's a name I'm recognizing from previous weeks. Amara is with us. Brooke's iPhone is with us. I hope Brooke is with us as well, because Brooke, you're welcome. It's not just your phone. We care about you too as a human. That's important to us. I'm going to rehydrate and recaffeinate while we're getting ready here.
Have you ever cleaned that glass, Brian?
Occasionally. It builds up more flavor if you don't clean it so often. So.
It's a special glass. I know.
And I
I
see
don't
a
think he's
young
ever
lady is
cleaned it
wearing
since I've been
tie-dye.
here.
Or maybe a young man. I got kind of red at the top and then a little bit of yellow. A young person. Kathy, I'm seeing. Kathy's got some tie-dye going on. Awesome. We'd like to see that. Oh, yeah. Looking good. Addie Bass is the holy cow. Oh, that's good, Addie. That is a solid choice. Ryan is with us. Amanda is with us. Camden Fisher, you look like you have some sort of magic wand thing going on. Are you Harry Potter? Camden Fisher, are you Harry Potter? No? Something like that? Because the outfit. I don't know my popular culture references. But I like the wand. The wand is kind of cool. Marley Gebhardt is here, which is awesome. And I see folks are putting things in the chat, which is great. This is awesome. Piper, I see we have a Piper here, which is cool. Someone says, I want to make everything. Oh, yes. Everything we're going to do today, we will show you how you can do it. We're going to give you recipes. It's going to be like a cooking show of physics. Tim Jordan has joined us, which is very cool. Kevin Sullivan, Gabe is here, Sam, Justin Reeves, Emma is with us. Jessica Mills Younger, Zephyr, Trina, Margot. Building up quite the collection of people here. This is great. Belcher, Dana Knight, Siraton, Owen, Tanish. Hope I'm pronouncing that at least close to being right. This is fantastic. And we got about 3 more minutes. So I'm going to step aside just for a minute and then we're going to be ready to roll. You folks feeling good?
Mm-hmm. Brian, that glass has some culture.
It does. You get more flavor that way.
Agriculture.
Yeah. Yeah, some sort of something is growing on the sides of that glass.
Kind of curious. I want to put it under a microscope. I'm not
Can
gonna
you
lie.
imagine?
You probably don't want to do that.
But I do. Like, I want to know.
You know, in like
Oh,
middle
man.
school when you'd have to take cultures
So
and like
who else
grow
has
'em?
got some Halloween costumes? Oh my gosh, I'm seeing kind of some, in the Jar family, they got some awesome stuff going on there. I'm seeing a witch's hat, perhaps. Oh yeah, look at Tyler Davis. Got a frog thing going on, which is very, very cool. Of course, we've got the holy cow, which is an awesome thing. Camden Fisher's got some awesome wand thing going on. Brianna and family is here, which is cool. And somebody, I see a picture of somebody with their dog, which is awesome. I'm a dog person, or I guess. Oh, somebody says it's their birthday. Well, happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is. You're just known by a number. You're 97688. So happy birthday. Happy birthday. All right, we've been a minute and a half and we're ready to kick it off with some goo. Oh, I like Fate is crafty. Look at that. Is that a decorated balloon? That's a pretty crafty thing right there, which is awesome. It's nodding its head at us, it looks like. Oh, that's very sweet. Very, very sweet. Thank you for that. Oh man, we got some pretty excited folks here. This is good. This is good. Okay, 1 minute. Oh, Camden Faber says, it's your friend's birthday tomorrow. Well, that is cool. And in case my older brother is here, he came on Facebook. I don't actually see the people on Facebook directly. I'm just interacting with folks on Zoom. But for folks on Facebook, welcome. For folks on YouTube, welcome. For folks on Zoom, welcome. And if my older brother is there, I'm glad you're here. And I'm going to do a shout out to Colin and Simon and perhaps Eleanor, who might be with us. All right. And Elsa is with us, which is kind of cool. You can always type things to us in the chat because the chat comes to us and we will respond. And we're going to ask you to do some things in the chat. And I just realized I have to set up some polling. So we're going to take another 30 seconds here. How is the tech looking?
This one's wrong. We're good, Brian.
Can I count to 5? I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Other mouth, can you count to 5?
1, 2.
All
3,
right, and we're doing our sound check, our final tech check. Are we ready to roll? All right, we're ready to roll. And which camera is the one that is the default? Is it this one? Awesome. So I'm going to look at that camera. So we are ready to start this episode of LSOP Live, and this one is called the Goo Show. And we're going to show you ways to make all kinds of different sorts of goo. And we're looking at things that basically straddle the boundary between liquid and solid. And I want to start with a couple of demonstrations just to give us some context. And I'm going to pull in this container of sand here. So I have a container of sand. And here's my question for everybody. Is sand a liquid or a solid? And Adam, I do not seem to be spotlighted.
You are.
Okay, cool. I will trust y'all. So here's my question, and I'm going to do a poll on this one. Do you think sand is a solid or is sand a liquid? I'm going to go ahead and put a poll up and we'll see what folks are saying. Oop, votes are coming in fast and furious. Oh my gosh. And solid is way out in front. Man, and people are typing in the chat too. Solid is way out in front. We have a solid lead for solid right here. We're going to go ahead and end the poll. We know how this one is going to end. Let's hope that the same thing happens next week. So we got So everybody says sand is a solid. Now what I'm going to do with this sand is I'm going to take some wood blocks and I'm going to bury them in the sand. Take some wood blocks, bury them in the sand. And then I'm going to take some metal nuts and I'm going to put them on top of the sand and they'll rest up here on the top. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this blower, and the blower at the bottom of this container is an air stone that you would use to put air in a fish tank. And I'm going to blow air through here. It's going to bubble up through the sand. And when we do that, I want you to watch what happens to the sand. Okay, is everybody ready? We got wood blocks buried, metal nuts on top. We're getting a top view of the sand. Here comes the air. The metal nuts basically sank out of sight and the wood blocks floated. Now I'm going to take a little rubber ducky and put my little rubber ducky here. And this rubber duck's name is Franklin, and of course, named for Rosalind Franklin. So Franklin is going to be surfing on the sand here. We're going to turn on the air.
Whoa!
I had a pipe pull out. That was kind of an exciting thing right there. But until that happened, you saw what Franklin was doing, kind of like just gently surfing on the sand. And the sand is going to behave like a liquid. What I've done is I've blown air in there. And so I have air and the sand grains are basically floating in it. They can slide freely past each other. And that's the hallmark of a liquid. The particles in a liquid can freely slide past each other. And so I just took that sand, which you said was a solid, and I made it behave like a liquid because I changed the way the particles interact with each other. And that's one of the hallmarks of the stuff we're going to see today. We're going to be thinking about how the particles at that small scale interact with each other. Now I'm going to show you one more thing. And I have a question for you. I've got a pillow down here, and this is a memory foam pillow. And here's my question. Is a pillow a solid or a liquid? I'm going to ask folks to weigh in on that. Pillows, solid or liquid? Go ahead and weigh in. Ooh, man. The results are coming in fast, and the results are very, very conclusive, very, very conclusive. 80% of the people say pillows are a solid. Now, this is a memory foam pillow, and memory foam pillows have an interesting property, okay? What they'll do when you push on them, they rebound. And that's the property of something which is elastic. It works like a spring. You push on it and it rebounds. But these pillows are what we call viscoelastic. If you put a large enough force on them, they don't rebound. They sort of flow a little bit. So what I'm going to do is take one wood block and put it on the pillow. When I put one wood block on the pillow, what it does is it just sits there. But now I'm going to put a second wood block and a third one. And then what happens to my pile of wood blocks is they tip over. And it is actually impossible to stack 3 wood blocks on top of this pillow. Can't do it. It cannot be done because the pillow just flows and the blocks will tip. And that's the viscoelasticity of the pillow. It just starts to flow. And no matter how hard I try, is literally impossible to stack these up. The pillow is actually behaving more like a liquid. It's just kind of like giving and not bouncing back. And that's one of the things that the memory foam pillow will do. And if you push harder than a certain amount, it starts to flow. And we'll see some things that work like that, as well as things that work like this. When you push really hard on them, they stop flowing. So if you're gentle, they'll flow. Push hard, they won't. Those are the types of things we're going to be looking at today. And with this, we're going to kick it off with our first type of goo. And our next segment is it's just all about goo. And we're going to think about how the molecules interact. And I'm over to Maud. Maud, what happened to your arm? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Maud, what happened?
So this is the first type of goo we're going to be talking about today. And it is something that you can
And
get.
Maud, you're being very nonchalant. I mean, seriously, you've got like gaping wounds on your arm.
It does look realistic from the camera. I
We
guess.
crashed on
Yeah.
our bike this morning.
I did. I crashed my bike this morning on the ice. It was an interesting time. So I do suppose that is probably where that came from. And so what this is made out of, actually not my skin, so everybody can take a deep breath. It is liquid latex, which you can get at any Halloween store. And it can help you make fake wounds like this, which is great, perfect timing for Halloween. I'm just gonna run through like how to make a little wound for you guys in case you wanna do something, even though it's a little late, but it's never too late. So what I've got here is some Kimtech wipe. You could use like just regular old tissue paper type things. This is just really, really thin paper. And I have some liquid latex here. And I'm just gonna do a small like circular wound on the back of my hand. So you start with one layer of that right on your skin. Gonna tear a piece of the paper to size. Put that right over it. And then we're gonna layer it so it looks a little bit more realistic. And what liquid latex is if I just look at the ingredients here, actually, it's just rubber latex, which you figure.
It's tree sap.
It's tree sap, yep. And then some ammonia is actually like the more active ingredient in here. I'm gonna put a second layer of the paper on top. And ammonia, if you remember back to our kitchen chemistry, is a base. And so liquid latex seems to be a liquid here in basic conditions. But what happens is that on your skin, it can react to those. You have like weak acids in the first layer of your skin, which act as a defense mechanism. It's one of the first things that happens with your innate immune system, actually. And so there I've just cut like my little hole where I want my wound to be. And so you can already see it's starting to kind of wrinkle up around it. And that's just the ammonia reacting with the weak acids in my skin. And it's kind of drying and it's going to get all wrinkly like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint, let's say, black. And then we're going to go.
Are those just watercolors?
This is acrylic paint, which I would not recommend necessarily putting on skin. But watercolor is definitely your best bet.
Or makeup.
Or
Makeup?
makeup or like body paint that it's made to go on your skin is definitely the best option.
Or even washable paint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so
that latex, the ammonia is reacting with the weak acids in the skin. And when the latex solution becomes acidic, those latex molecules, they're long chain polymers, they combine with each other. And it makes solid rubber. So it turns from a liquid and then all the molecules interact, make something solid, and it's puckering up on Maud's skin. Oh, adding some nice red. That's looking good, looking good.
all right, and then I'm going to use this liquid latex actually to do another thing. And these things clearly right now it's wet, so it doesn't look as good. But when it dries, like this one, it'll look a little bit more like that. But we're just going to give it time to dry. And while we're giving it time to dry, I'm going to come over here. And in this beaker, like we talked about the liquids and acids before, in this beaker, I've got some 30% vinegar, which is a very strong vinegar. I'm going to put one glove on.
And you could just do this with regular household vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
We're just using 30% because we can use a little bit less liquid that way.
And so I've got some liquid latex in this other beaker. You don't need that much. And then when I add the vinegar, could tell that solidifies.
Oh my gosh. That latex, all those little molecules inside, all those polymers joined up. It looks like a rubber ball.
It is a rubber ball.
Is it bouncy?
Let's see. It is bouncy.
So we took liquid and made it into a little bouncy ball. And you say the latex you can get at the Halloween store, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty bouncy little ball right there.
Oh, yeah.
So latex from the Halloween store, a little bit of vinegar, all those long chain polymers hook up together, and you end up with a rubber ball.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. So joining up all those different molecules, and you make a goo, make something that's kind of gooey. And this one solidifies and turns into making a rubber ball. Brenna is going to show us another thing that we can make with goo. And Brenna, what's this one?
Alrighty, so we're gonna make some worms for Halloween. So I have some sodium alginate here, and sodium alginate is from algae. It's how they bend and sway with the water, and they use it in noodles and things like that. It's a binding agent, so it's kind of gooey. And then I have some calcium chloride, which is, you can make cheese and stuff with this. Both these things you can buy at the grocery store. We bought them online. But I have my sodium alginate in here mixed with water, and then I have my calcium chloride mixed with some water too. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine these two things, and they undergo a little chemical reaction, and they make some worms. So I'm going to dip my pipette. You could use a straw or a fork, and I'm going to take up some of my sodium alginate, and then I'm just going to squirt it in my calcium chloride, and then we're going to dig it out with a fork, and we're going to see what happens. And it's really kind of awesome. You can make yourself some little friends. Now, if I dig these guys out with my fork that I have here, you can see I just made a worm. I'm going to put it on my paper towel. Now I can pick up my worms and I can play with them. And they are squishy, and they're actually just like little tubes that have liquid inside. So if I pop one, maybe, you can see a bunch of liquid came out, and I can kind of drain it out, which is kind of awesome. So they're just really fun to play with, and they're safe. This is all with food grade chemicals, and you can get them at the grocery store. So you guys should make some worms.
Somebody asked, can you make them different colors?
You can, yeah. I just use green food coloring because it's Halloween and I wanted them to be like boogers.
Brenda, thank you for that. This is a high-minded show today, we can tell. And now over to Maud for yet another kind of goo.
All right.
Oh my gosh, and Maud, how is the hand looking?
Well, it's drying, and you can tell it's getting a little bit more wrinkly there.
Awesome.
And I think it's just towards the end. I think that once the red kind of, oh yeah, that does look, that does look like I've had quite an accident. All right, this one I'm gonna put 2 gloves on. So what I've got in this bigger beaker is some borax. Ooh, I can't put 2 gloves on. I've got a beaker with some borax dissolved in water. And borax is something you could just get at the grocery store. It is something that is added into your laundry. And then here I've got some clear school glue. And so let's just make some goo.
All right, and the school glue, again, it's like long chain molecules, and then they stick together to glue things. Oh my gosh, and that is making something which is distinctly slimy. Oh my gosh, that's what happened to the glue. It turns into goo, and that's just clear school glue.
It is, yep.
And borax in water. Oh my gosh. Ahmad is taking it and rolling it. And you're rolling this into a ball?
Yeah, I would like to try, but it is quite a gooey mess indeed. And it's like sticking the glove fingers together, which looks super gnarly.
That is awesome. And you can also do this with white glue. We use clear glue just because it's cooler, but you can do this with white glue. So borax and water, and just mix lots of borax in the water. Just want to have a good concentrated solution. And then you mix it with the school glue and you end up with this, that is
Delightful,
kind of
snotty
awesome.
liquid.
So all the molecules in the
Mm.
glue kind of like glom onto each other, and it turns from being a liquid into being something more like a solid. That is
Oh, that is
kind of awesome. And
snot-like
I would be tempted to
consistency.
put some coloring in that, I got to tell you.
Oh yeah,
That is awesome.
that is definitely good pranking material right there.
And then Brenna is going to show us another kind of goo, and this is another kind of goo you can get something at the grocery store.
Yes, so here I have xanthan gum, which we often put in regular gum to make it gummy. And you can buy this at the grocery store. It's usually at like Natural Grocers or Sprouts or somewhere like that. But here, we're going to focus on this guy first. I have my friend, I think his name is just Frankie because he's a little bit less attractive than Franklin, I'm going to say.
Oh, goodness.
But xanthan gum does this really cool thing when you mix it with water. It's not really a liquid. It's not a solid either, but it maintains this really cool viscoelastic property. So it actually snaps back like a spring. So if I twist Frankie,
Whoa.
you can see he's always going to point towards the line
Bounces back.
on the side of the container. In addition, he floats, but it's kind of like bouncing him on pudding, which is kind of awesome. So it goes really slow, but I can scoop it up with my hand and it just...
So it works like a liquid. If you push on it hard, it works like a liquid, but if you push on it just a little bit, it works a little bit like a solid. It's kind of a springy solid.
Kind of like Jell-O.
Kind of like a memory foam pillow right here.
Yeah.
That's like the goopiest pillow in the world. And with xanthan gum, you can also make something else, which is perhaps the most disgusting thing that we made as part of the Goo Show. I think Brenna's going to do that
come on,
next.
Don't be that way, Brian. Don't be that way. Alrighty, so the next thing that I have, let me move my friend, are these two beakers. And in them, I have xanthan gum mixed with white vinegar. And all I did was mix it up. I put some food coloring in there, and then I put it in the fridge for a while because you want it to get nice and goopy, as you can see. But as we know, vinegar is an acid, and it will react with a base. So what I can do is I can take some baking soda, which I'm sure you all have heard of baking soda and vinegar volcanoes, and you can put it in there, and I'm going to mix it up, and we can make bubbling goo. Ooh, gross.
Oh my gosh, that is, oh my gosh. So the xanthan gum is making it gooey, and the vinegar and the baking soda is making it bubbly. And so, yeah, you've got bubbling goo.
And you can pick it up and it feels kind of wonky. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, I think you got the prize for the most disgusting thing for sure. Although I don't think it's the prize for the messiest. I think Emma is going to get the prize for the messiest, and Emma's got her tiara on over here. Emma, show us what you got.
Yeah, okay, so here I have what a lot of you probably know as Oobleck. It is just a mixture of cornstarch and water, that's it. But we dyed it blue with some food coloring, and it is a non-Newtonian fluid. And what that means is if I move really, really fast, it acts as a solid. Like it doesn't really move, but if I move slowly, it's like a liquid. And so you can do some really cool things with Oobleck, and it's super gross sometimes and kind of messy, but totally fun and worth it.
So you can roll it into a ball, but then if you stop rolling it, what happens? Oh, and then it turns back into a liquid. So that's the thing that turns from being a liquid into a solid, depending on how hard you push on it. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. So pushing on it makes it turn more into a solid. And Brenna has got a little table over here that you use for, I think this is like from a dentist's office, like for making dentures.
I think
And the
so.
table vibrates. And if you take cornstarch and water, and that's just a thick mix of cornstarch plus water, and you made it appropriately green, this is in keeping with the very disgusting nature of this particular show.
Yes, so sorry about my table. It is ruined now because of my last endeavor. But I have some Oobleck, just like Emma said. And it's green right now. I just put some food coloring in it. If I pour it on this table, and I'm going to pour most of it on there. Doesn't do anything right now. It's just kind of liquidy, like Emma said. But if I vibrate this table by turning it on, if I get it to a certain frequency,
Well, it's like developing like little fingers.
it
Awesome.
dances.
And then over here, we've got Emma, who has got a speaker, and this is a waterproof, this is a marine speaker that we got, and she's going to take a little bit of Oobleck and put it inside there. And with this one, we can make it go at different frequencies. And so Brenna's, it pretty much vibrates, it vibrates as it's going to vibrate. All right, and Emma is going to load this up with some goo, and then go ahead and turn up the dial on the signal generator. We're going to make this thing vibrate. Oh yeah, now it's vibrating up and down, and just go ahead and turn up the frequency a little bit more until we start to get some little fingers. They're going to emerge out of there. Crank, keep cranking. Oh yeah, now we're starting to get like little fingers are starting to emerge from there. Look at that, look at that. That's cornstarch in water on the speaker, and you get these little dancing worm things going on, which is kind of awesome.
It's alive.
It's alive. Oh my gosh, that one that's trying to escape. That is awesome. That is awesome. And when we were making tubs full of this cornstarch and water, we wanted to make a big container of it so we could do some truly awesome things with this. And we're going to put this over on the floor, and I think our goal is to see if you can walk on it. So we made a big container. Maud and Emma have this container. They're going to move it over onto the floor. And the key is, if you want to try this, you just need to go quickly. You have to go quickly, because if you go slowly, it behaves like a liquid. But if you go quickly, it behaves like a solid. Oh yeah, this is looking good. And so I think we're all going to try this. So we're all going to mask up so that we can work over in that area. So everybody mask up, and then we're going to try. Who wants to go first? Who wants to try walking or jumping on the Oobleck? Who's up first?
I think Emma's up.
I think Emma's up first. I think Emma, you're the one who made the goo. Emma's the princess.
Okay, I probably have Oobleck on my face.
All right, here goes Emma, and Emma's getting in place, and there's a little tub full of that cornstarch and water. Whenever you're ready, Emma. Oh my gosh, and she just jumps right off it. Jumps right off it. Oh, that's amazing. Let's do it again. And just bounces right off it. Now put your hand in it just to show people what happens. If you put your hand in it, it's just going to go right in. So if you stand still on it, you're going to go in, and that's like hard to get back out again. But if you go quickly, you can jump on it just like it was a solid surface. All right, who else is going to try? Oh, stepping on it. Awesome. Awesome. She's pushing the envelope here. Brenna, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, Brian.
Okay, here we go. So here's
I'm
Brenna.
ready. Alrighty, I'm covered in cornstarch, but it's fine.
Oh, and a little bit came with your foot. You were a little slower. You were a little slower. Oh yeah, got to go a little bit fast. All right. And is Maud up? And Maud's turn.
I'm just gonna
Go, Maud, go.
I'm so scared.
Oh, yeah. And bounces right off it. Yeah. And that was about 2 gallons of cornstarch in that container. And I'm going to try something I've never tried before. And I thank you for the people who kind of like made this happen. I got a pogo stick here. And my question is, can I pogo on this surface? So I'm going to get my, oh, hang on a second. I need a helmet. Where did my helmet go?
It ran away.
Oh,
It's
there it
over
is.
there.
There's my helmet. Yep. Because I want to definitely be safe. Got my mask, got my helmet, and I'm going to go ahead and bounce a little bit. Let's see if I can pogo on Goo. Here we go. So I'm going to pogo.
There we go.
I can't believe it. It didn't sink in at all. It's just like going on the floor. That is fantastic. Pogo on Goo. That is something I never thought I would have a chance to do in my life. That is something I thought I'd never have a chance to do in my life. We got 2 more things we want to do. First off, I want to say thank you to the Little Shop of Physics team who puts all this stuff together, to Emma and to Brenna and to Maud. So let's say thanks to our people. We got Brenna.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
And we got Maud. All righty. And then Emma is over there with lots of goo on her hand. And next to her is Adam, who is the one who's managing the chat and all the technology. And Patrick is the man behind the camera. Awesome. Awesome. There's his fingers. Awesome. Awesome. So say thank you to the folks who put all this together. I want to say thank you for all the folks who showed up and joined us today. And now, usually at this point, we talk about what our next episode is, but what we want to do is give you a chance. What would you like to see us treat next? What topic? So go ahead and put that in the chat. Tell us what you want us to do next. We'll go ahead and take a look at that, see what you guys want to see. And we will be back next week with another episode of Little Shop of Physics Live. Ooh, we're getting some awesome ideas here. Someone said water.
Water's a good one.
Animals. That could be good. Oh my gosh. And are we going to close with, let's see the hand mod.
You're not actually injured. You're faking it. How rude.
Thank you all very much. And we'll be back next week. All righty. Bye-bye.